If I could show you a game to demonstrate how you could have potential for growth in the market without risk of any loss, would you want to play?
Yes, I would.
I'm going to use $2 bills and this silver dollar coin. This coin has heads and tails. I'm going to place a $2 bill in front of you to represent your principal. Sound good?
Yes.
I'm going to put another $2 bill in front of me and then flip this coin. Whether it is heads or tails will have consequences in the playing of this game. Let's begin, shall we?
Yes.
Here we go. Heads. So from now on, every time this coin lands on heads, I will credit you gains by putting a $2 bill from my stack next to your original principal. So far, so good. Should we continue?
Yes.
I'm putting another $2 bill in front of me. Here we go again. Heads again. So what needs to happen in our game?
I get to take your $2 bill and add it to my stack next to my original principal.
I'm going to put another $2 bill in front of me and then flip the coin. Here we go. It's tails. Okay, here's what is not going to happen in our game when it is tails. I am not going to take away any of your credited gains, those $2 bills, next to your original principal, nor am I going to take away your original $2 we used as your principal to play this game. I am, however, not going to put another $2 bill on top of your other $2 bills, crediting of gains, next to your original principal. So, how do you like this game so far?
I like it. Let me make sure I understand. Every time you flip the coin and its heads, I win. And every time you flip the coin and its tails, I do not lose?
Yes, exactly. Let me flip the coin again, and you tell me what's going to happen with our game. Here we go. It's tails. So what happens?
I do not gain anything, and I do not lose anything from my original principal or my accumulation of gains.
Yes, that's right. Let me flip one more time.
Absolutely.
Heads. So what happens?
I will take that $2 bill and put it on the stack with my other $2 bills, my credited gains stack, next to my original money, principal, to play this game.
Right. May I ask you another question?
Yes.
How long would you be willing to play this game?
Forever.
Why?
I cannot lose anything, but I have the opportunity to win every time you flip the coin.
May I explain how this concept works as it applies to a real contract where you put your own money into it?
Yes, please.
Let's see conceptually how this concept works when heads you win and tails you cannot lose. The basic mechanics of this contract is understanding first what it is and what it is not. This is not an investment. It is, however, a contract. This contract is called an annuity. A basic fixed annuity is simply a contract between an individual like you and an insurance company, which guarantees that, in exchange for a consideration called the premium, an interest-bearing savings account pays out a stated interest and an income option you cannot outlive, if you pick that payout option in the contract. The heads and tails concept is found in a fixed indexed annuity, FIA. FIAs are the same type of annuity contract, except how the crediting of gains are paid out. Not an interest rate, FIAs have stock market-linked returns with no market risks. Let's see conceptually how it is done, shall we?
Yes, please.
For every dollar taken in this contract as a premium, the largest portion of that dollar is invested in high-grade bonds. These bonds earn enough interest to provide the end-of-term minimum guaranteed cash value of the contract, cover the company's expenses, and earn the company a profit. The remaining money after the fixed obligations are met is used to purchase call options. The call options provide the growth potential, the crediting of gains within the contract. A call option is a contract giving the buyer the right to purchase 100 shares of an underlying security, indices. If the market goes down, the call options expire worthless. If the market goes up, the call options are exercised. Crediting of gains are then paid in the contract. These credited gains cannot be lost if the market subsequently goes down. So, what are the insurance companies not trying to do?
I don't know. What is it?
Outguess, outthink, or outperform the market. If it's a heads, the market is up. The call options are exercised, and crediting of gains takes place. If it's a tails and the market is down, the call options expire worthless, and no crediting of gains takes place. There is no interest paid, just crediting gains paid to the contract.
Let me make sure I understand. There is not a stated interest rate in this fixed indexed annuity, but an opportunity of crediting of gains based on the upside of the market and the index indices I select?
Yes, you are correct. How important is safety to you?
Very important.
May I explain how this concept works as it applies to the safety of an FIA contract?
Yes, please.
Let's consider the safety of a fixed-indexed annuity, FIA contract. There are three main areas to consider. First, the State Insurance Department supervises all aspects of insurance company operations, including periodic company examinations. These periodic company examinations include financial status, company solvency, and compliance with the insurance laws. All companies undergo a detailed home office examination of its financial position. The department reviews each company's financial report and makes sure that proper reviews are established on each policy contract sold. Second, each state has its own state guarantee fund. It works as a safety net to provide protection in the event the insurance company becomes financially unable in that state to meet its obligations and is taken over by its insurance department. Each state is different as to its state guarantee fund amounts. And third is the legal reserve system. A large percentage of each premium dollar calculated by actuaries goes into the policy owner's reserve fund. This policy reserve, legal reserve fund, is a liability to the life insurance company. The fund is established as a way of measuring the assets the company must maintain in order to be able to meet its future commitments under the policies it has issued as contracts. Do you know who this is a picture of?
Babe Ruth.
That's right. What was Babe Ruth famous for doing?
Playing baseball and hitting home runs.
That's right. How many home runs did Babe Ruth have on his baseball card when he retired from baseball?
714?
Very close. Actually, yes. But financially, Babe Ruth was credited with one more home run. Let me explain. He had an eye for the future as keen as his eye for the ball. Starting in 1923, Babe Ruth put in over half his salary, an estimated $35,000 to $50,000 per year, into an annuity contract over the next 6 years. By 1929, the stock market had crashed and most of his fellow ball players were flat broke. But not the Babe. Babe Ruth said, "I take a lot of risks in my life, but I'll never risk my money. That's why I put my money into annuities." Looking back over his career, even though he retired in 1935, Babe Ruth was credited with this last home run, financially speaking. Babe Ruth didn't lose his annuity money during the market crash or the Great Depression. His money was put safely into annuity contracts. Can we review what we've learned so far using a few current events?
Yes, please.
How long do you think annuities have been around?
My guess would be the early 1900s?
Very close. Annuities have a long history dating back to the Roman era, when annuities were used as a form of payment for loyal soldiers, paying out a stream of income to an individual or family.
Wow, I did not know that.
Annuities are extraordinarily popular in modern times, but they're not new. During the 17th century, annuities were used as fundraising vehicles. In Europe, governments were constantly looking for revenue to pay for massive, ongoing battles with neighboring countries. The governments would then create a tontine, promising to pay for an extended period of time if citizens would purchase shares today. England locked in many wars with France and started one of the first group annuities called the State Tontine of 1693. Participants in these early government annuities would purchase a share of the tontine. The process was simple. A person could buy a share in the tontine, and then they would get an annual payment from the fund for the lifetime of a specific person. The person buying the share could designate a different person as what is known as the nominee of the tontine. As the nominees passed away, the remaining ones would get a larger share of the annual payment until at least one died. When do you think annuities came to the Americas?
Well, I'll use my original guess. Early 1900s?
Again, very close. Annuities made their first mark in America during the mid-18th century. In 1759, a company in Pennsylvania was formed to benefit Presbyterian ministers and their families. Ministers and their congregants, along with church leaders, would contribute to the fund in exchange for lifetime payments. It wasn't until 1912 that Americans, the general public, could buy annuities directly from this Pennsylvania company.
So, America's been using the purchasing of annuity contracts for over 100 years to guarantee income? Impressive.
Yes, that's correct. Let's bring us up to date with the concept of flip the coin, the annuity having upside potential of the market with no downside risk, where you can put your money into a fixed indexed annuity contract and get credited of gains when the market is up. Heads, where the call options are exercised, and then credited of gains are placed on top of your original money, principal, not interest, but credited gains to your initial contract with the insurance company. More importantly, when the market goes down, it's a tails. The call options expire worthless. You cannot lose any money, but you cannot get any crediting of gains added to your contract. The key is, the insurance companies are not trying to outguess, outthink, or outperform the market. Heads, you win. Tails, you do not lose. So, here is my last fun fact question. When did fixed indexed annuity, formerly called equity indexed annuity, come here to the USA?
Maybe 20 years ago or thereabouts?
Very close. Indexed annuities came out in February of 1995. Keyport Life, now Sun Life, a Canadian-owned company, sold the Key Index annuity using a high-water method with a guaranteed participation rate and no spreads and no averaging. A premium of $20,000 grew over a 5-year contract period to have an ending value of a little over $50,000. The second indexed annuity was brought out by Lincoln Benefit. Both the first and second equity indexed annuities were developed by the same actuarial firm. The third indexed annuity, however, was brought out using an American actuary team for an American insurance company named American Life and Casualty Insurance Company, Conseco. An independent marketing organization called the Annuity Store out of Sacramento, California, presented this idea to AL&C and worked closely with AL&C to develop the Eagle One EIA product. This equity indexed annuity became the first 100% American product developed. So, why the history lesson? May I ask you another question to help us know and understand possibly the why? This time an observation question from our annuity history lesson.
Please, go ahead.
What do you notice is the common theme throughout this annuity history from the Roman era to our current time?
Annuities are used for income. Income that's guaranteed, and I cannot outlive.
You are right on the money. Income that is guaranteed and that cannot be outlived. Would you be interested to see how this income is guaranteed and how you can have an income that you cannot outlive?
Absolutely. I am very interested.
One of the most significant features and benefits of owning an annuity contract is taking advantage of its income options. Owning an annuity contract allows you to have a monthly income you cannot outlive. This type of guaranteed lifetime income is only available through an insurance contract. Lifetime income started as early as the Roman Empire. They paid annual payments to reward those dutiful soldiers and their families for life. Later, during the 17th century, a person could purchase a share in the tontine in exchange for an annual payment. The payment would last for the lifetime of a specific person. Then, during the mid-18th century, a Pennsylvania company created a fund for Presbyterian ministers and their families in exchange for a secured lifetime of payments. Even the baseball legend Babe Ruth benefited from his annuity contracts with a guaranteed lifetime income he could not outlive. By doing so, he weathered the stock market crash, getting his last credited home run, a financial home run. In our day, there's one thing an insurance company does that stocks can't do, bonds can't do, and CDs can't do. An insurance company can offer an annuity, which can guarantee a lifetime income. The Financial Research Corporation, FRC of Boston, said it best. Income annuities improve portfolio outcomes in retirement. Income annuities offer features others can't. High cash flow, uncorrelated to market returns, retirement alpha in the form of mortality credits, which only life insurance companies can manufacture, longevity hedging, and liquidity features. Now let us address why guaranteed lifetime income matters in retirement. Is it not true that throughout our lives, we are taught that a successful retirement is based on assets? Make money and save money to have a big pile of money ready when you retire. It is evident that the more assets we accumulate, the more opportunities we will have in retirement. Success in retirement will depend on two basic but straightforward factors. 1. How much guaranteed lifetime income will you have? And 2. Have you taken the key retirement risks off the table? There are many real risks we must face in retirement, such as market risk, sequence of return risk, withdrawal rate risk, inflation, deflation. You may need home convalescent care or long-term care. In other words, there are many risks to consider. What is the number one risk? Longevity risk. Living too long. What matters most in retirement is not outliving your money. Living too long multiplies all the other risks already mentioned. Those who live to 80, 85, 90, or 95 carry that risk of longevity in retirement. Having a guaranteed lifetime income may enable you to increase the returns of your portfolio, lower your overall stress, and allow you to be happier in retirement. Yes, even live longer by merely adding a guaranteed lifetime income offered by an annuity contract. Would it not be of value to have an income you cannot outlive? Or a guaranteed lifetime income and take longevity risk off your table? Let's review what we've learned together, shall we? We started our conversation by playing a game, the flip of the coin, which explores a scenario where you could have potential for growth in the market without risk of any loss, and where you could have the opportunity to win each time you flipped to heads, but you could not lose anything if you flipped to tails. We then took a look at how this flip of the coin concept relates to fixed indexed annuities, or FIAs. We discussed how the FIA contract works to receive stock market-linked returns with no market risks. By using the largest portion of every dollar in the contract, high-grade bonds are purchased, which provide the end-of-term minimum guaranteed cash value of the contract. The remaining portions to purchase call options, which provide the growth potential. If it's at tails and the market goes down, the call options expire worthless and you do not gain any money. But you cannot subsequently lose any of your credited gains either. If it's a heads, the market goes up, these call options are exercised, and crediting of gains are paid out in the contract. The key is, this is not an investment. This contract is called an annuity. The insurance companies are not trying to outguess, outthink, or outperform the market. Heads, you win. Tails, you do not lose. We next talked about safety of FIAs, highlighting the three main areas that reinforce them. 1. State insurance departments supervising all aspects of insurance company operations. 2. Each state's guaranteed fund. And 3. The legal reserve system. We were also inspired by Babe Ruth's last financial home run, putting his money safely into annuity contracts. The Babe didn't lose his annuity money during the market crash or the Great Depression. We then explored the concept of when zero is a hero through a few current events, where the market dropped but there was no downside risk for fixed indexed annuities. When there are slumps in the market, which are inevitable, zero can be your hero. We then learned about the history of annuities, how they came to be, and the common theme from the Roman era to our current time, that annuities are primarily used for income that's guaranteed and you cannot outlive. We examined the arrival of annuities to America in 1912 and the more recent advent of indexed annuities here in 1995, when the Canadian actuary firm bought out the first two equity index annuity contracts. Only $500 million was written in that first year. Contrast that with 2019, when $73.4 billion in fixed index annuity contracts were written, a 14,580% increase in new premiums since 1995. This contract is called an annuity. This is not an investment. And finally, we finished our journey through annuities by considering the real risks associated with retirement, the peace of mind and happiness we all want to experience in our golden years, and how this is made possible through the guaranteed lifetime income offered through an annuity contract. With monthly income you cannot outlive. It's been my pleasure to speak with you and go over these concepts. If you have any questions or would like to learn more, your retirement specialist and asset protector is ready to speak with you today.